Welcome to Calming Harp, the sounds of David's Psalms. I'm glad you've joined us for this brief moment we share together. I will be playing some of the music that has been brought out of the Psalms. My name is Steve Rees. I play the harp, and over the last several years I've been bringing the sounds of David's Psalms into recordings. You can find a lot of my music on my website, www.calmingharp.com. I have CDs available and MP3s. And you can go to YouTube. If you go to YouTube and then type in Peregrinati, Peregrinnatti, you will find hours of beautiful harp music that you can just play in the background and be calmed with the music that David may have played for his sheep at one time or another. So as we share this half hour, join me and enjoy the sounds of David's harp. Well, good morning. It is morning here where we are, where I'm taping this morning. We're with some friends in Arkansas, and near Fort Smith, Arkansas. And Shirley and I have come up here to share a program with them on the Tabernacle. And by the way, if any of you hearing this would like to schedule a program, we'd be more than happy to do that. In fact, I have a brief, about 5-minute introduction to the program on YouTube, so I'll put a link to that at the bottom of this for you on Hebrew Radio. And then I'm going to put another link down there as well for this week, and that I just posted a new music CD. It's actually the music of the recent CD that I did, Frequency of Cleansing. And it was kind of a fun video that I put together. I used some of my drone footage that I've been playing around with, and I think it turned out pretty nice. So anyway, if you want to take a look at that, I'll put that link up there for you as well. That's on my YouTube channel. If you want to go directly to the channel, it's on YouTube, and the channel name is Peregrinati, which is the name of our ministry. Peregrinnatti. Anyway, just a little bit of a friend of mine used to call shameless marketing. So anyway, but it's all for sharing. It's all free, and I love to share it with y'all. This morning I'm going to be bouncing off of some of what's been taking place in the news this week, and so if some of you are listening weeks later or even years later, this may not make any sense, but I know a lot of you come on to listen to me every week, so I wanted to just share some thoughts with you. And once again, as we are experiencing what we have been experiencing, David has answers for us in the Psalms, and so I'm going to read a couple of the Psalms as well. And then a couple of the pieces of music I'm going to share are continuing to come off of the album Illumination, or Ba'or in Hebrew, of light. So anyway, that's the first one will be called Celtic Night. And then the second one will be Kingdom Restored. So I hope you enjoy those as well. So to start out with, one of the things that we're tempted with is to be discouraged by what we see, and especially what we see in the news. And this week has been a particularly strange week, I would say, or as the Chinese proverb says, interesting. May you live in interesting times. It's both a blessing and a curse. And what we've seen this week has been something that we've not seen in 246 years of the U.S. history. And it makes one wonder, as we observe, where are we headed? And we saw apparatuses of the federal government utilized against an individual for political purposes this week. And I don't want to turn this into a political rant or anything like that. I want to keep this on the level of our reaction. What is that? How is our spirit responding to what we see? Are we becoming discouraged because we are thinking that there's no hope, that our nation is going down the drain and there's nothing we can do about it? Or, as David has so often reminded us, can we depend on our Heavenly Father to see us through? And on top of that, does He have a plan? And so, one of the other interesting things I want to do this week is the two Psalms I'm going to read from are both what are called acrostic Psalms. And it's kind of fun because David, he likes to play around with the alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet. And in this psalm, first one I'm going to do is Psalm 25, verse 1. Each first letter of each verse is one of the letters of the alphabet, and it goes straight through the alphabet. And so let's start. The first one is called Teach Me Your Paths. It's Psalm 25. And I won't say the letter, but each one of the verses is will be the next letter in the Hebrew alphabet. To you, O Yahweh, I lift up my being. O my Elohim, in you I have put my trust. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies exult over me. And I'm really praying that this week. That's as Shirley and I are in the Psalms right now as we read our morning worship. We have been constantly being reminded, as we also talk about what's going on in the news, and we constantly come back to what David is saying, let not my enemies exult over me. Indeed, let no one who waits on you be ashamed. Let those who are treacherous without cause be ashamed. And that is definitely our prayer for the treachery that we're observing playing out in the news each day. Show me your ways, O Yahweh. Teach me your paths, not the world's way, but your way, Father. Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the Elohim of my deliverance. On you I wait all the day. Remember, O Yahweh, your compassion and your loving commitments, for they are from everlasting to everlasting. Do not remember the sin of my youth or my transgressions. According to your loving commitment, remember me, for your goodness' sake, O Yahweh. Good and straight is Yahweh, therefore he teaches sinners in the way. He guides the meek ones in right ruling, and he teaches the meek ones his ways. All the paths of Yahweh are loving commitment and truth to those who guard his covenant and his witness. For your name's sake, O Yahweh, you shall pardon my crookedness. though it be great. Who then is the man that fears Yahweh? He teaches him in the way he should choose. His life dwells in goodness. His seed inherits the earth. The secret of Yahweh is with those who fear him, and he makes his covenant known to them. My eyes are ever toward Yahweh, for he brings my feet out of the net. Turn your face to me and show me favor, for I am lowly and afflicted. The distress of my hearts have enlarged. Oh, bring me out of my distresses. Look on my affliction and my toil, and forgive all my sins. See how many of my enemies how many they have become, and they hate me with a violent hatred. Guard my life and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I have taken refuge in you. Let integrity and straightness guard me, for I have waited for you. O Yahweh, redeem Israel out of all his distresses. So David is telling us that there's a lot of bad things happening. Think about David. He actually had to run through a way out into the wilderness to keep from being killed by the king, who was devoting all of the resources of the army and everything to try to find him. So what we're going through right now is in no comparison to what David went through. And yet his answer was still the same, to depend on his heavenly Father. So this first song is called Celtic Night. I want to share that with you, and then we'll do another one of the Psalms. So continuing with Psalm 37, another acrostic. Do Do not fret because of evildoers. Do not be envious of the workers of unrighteousness, for they soon will wither like grass and fade like the green plants. Trust in Yahweh and do good. Dwell in the earth and feed on steadfastness. And delight yourself in Yahweh, and let him give you the desires of your heart. Commit your ways to Yahweh and trust in him, and he does it, and he shall bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your ruling as the midday. And this acrostic is a little different because it's every 2 verses. That is this next letter. Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man doing wicked devices. So as we read the news and see what's going on, he says, don't fret. Do not fret. Abstain from displeasure and forsake wrath. Do not fret also to do evil. So don't turn around and do what they're doing just because they're getting by with it. For evildoers are cut off, but those who wait on Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. Yet a little while, and the wrong is no more, and you shall look on his place, but it is not. But the meek ones shall inherit the earth and delight themselves in plenty of shalom. Reminds you of the Beatitudes where Yeshua said the meek will inherit the earth. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit. The wrong plots against righteousness and gnashes his teeth at him. Yahweh laughs at him, for he sees that his day is coming. The wrong have drawn the sword and have bent their bow to cause the poor and needy to fall, to slay those who walk straightly. Their swords does not enter their own heart, and their bows are broken. Better is the little of the righteous one than the riches of the wrongdoers, for the arms of the wrongdoers are broken, but Yahweh sustains the righteous. Yahweh knows the days are the perfect, and their inheritance is forever. They are not ashamed in the time of evil, and in the days of scarcity of food they are satisfied. So even with supply shortages that are being predicted, we have a promise here that we will be satisfied. But the wrongdoers shall perish, and the enemies of Yahweh, like the splendor of the meadows, they vanish, like smoke they vanish away. The wrongdoer is borrowing and does not repay, but the righteous one shows favor and gives. Reminds you of our national budget, borrowing and not repaying. For his blessed ones inherit the earth, but those cursed by him are cut off. The steps of a man are ordered by Yahweh, and he delights in his way. Though he falls, he is not cast down, for Yahweh is supporting his hand. I have been young, and now I am old, and I keep seeing that in myself. I'm like, wow, how did I get here? Yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, or his seed begging for bread. All day long he is showing favor and lending, and his seed is for a blessing. Turn away from evil and do good, and dwell forever, for Yahweh loves right ruling, and does not forsake his loving, committed ones. They shall be guarded forever, but the seed of the wrongdoers is cut off. The righteous shall inherit the earth, and dwell in it forever. That's a long, long time. The mouth of the righteous speaks wisdom, and his tongue talks of right ruling. The Torah of his Elohim is in his heart. His steps do not slide. The wrong one is watching for righteousness, and is seeking to slay him. Yahweh does not leave him in his hand, or let him be declared wrong when he is judged. Wait on Yahweh and guard his way, and he shall exalt you to inherit the earth. When the wrongdoers are cut off, you shall see it. I have seen the wrongdoer in great power, and spreading himself like a native green tree. Yet he passed away, and see, he is not any more. And I sought him, and he was not found. Watch the perfect and observe the straight, for the latter end of each is shalom, but the transgressors shall be destroyed together. The latter end of the wrong shall be cut off. But the deliverance of the righteous is from Yahweh. Their strength in time of distress, and Yahweh does help them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wrongdoers and saves them because they took refuge in Him. What a promise that is for us today, to have our hope in Him and look to Him for our deliverance. So I'm going to be playing Kingdom Restored, which is kind of appropriate to what I just read, because at the end of the day, with all of the stuff that's going on around us, the kingdom seems to be falling. And it's not this kingdom country that's going to be restored, it's the kingdom of our Heavenly Father. And I look to that day, and I encourage you to look to that day as well. We have to live in this world, it's true, but that beautiful day is coming when the kingdom will be restored. So that's our kingdom restored. And our kingdom, the kingdom I'm interested in, and the one I want to encourage you to be interested in, will be restored. Yeshua will reign in Mount Zion from Jerusalem, as we're told by the prophets and Yeshua himself. And so, no matter what's going on, remember Luke tells us, when you see all of these things coming about, lift up your head, for your redemption draws nigh. And I want to encourage each one of you today, and myself, to lift up my head and not be so concerned with what's happening here on this terra firma, but looking to a kingdom whose builder and maker is our Heavenly Father, who has a very perfect plan already laid out, and it will take place, and he will be in charge, and there will be no more of this evil that we see spreading throughout the earth. The time is near, so lift up your head. So I hope you've enjoyed our time together. Stay tuned, as I say. Little pun. I have many more songs to share with you. I have more to share about how this all comes together. And I pray that you will share and help people, especially those you see stressed, especially in these times that we're going through. Bring people to this calming and this peace and this rest that this beautiful music of the Psalms of David brings to each of our lives. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you next week. Many, many blessings to you all today.